Haha. Good evening, everyone. So, okay. Good evening, people in Zoom and who are in YouTube also. Okay. So we can start the class. It's already 5 o'clock. So we are going through the morphology of flowering plant. In last class, just we saw the introductory part of the plants, right? So what a plant and everything. So my name is Brahmanya. I'm taking your 11th syllabus. Okay, for now for the new people. My introduction is for the new people. Okay, and thank you for Navodaya Vidyalaya Samiti and Tata Trust for make this classes possible. Okay, so we'll start the class then, right, without wasting any time. So what we studied in the last class. So first we studied about the morphology of the plant. That means how we can separate a plant into a stem and a root, right? What are the parts of the stem and what are the parts of the root in a like a brief way. And good evening, Gopika, Sanjeev. Okay. And next we went through the classification based on lifespan. I'm repeating it one more time. We divided into annual and biennial, okay, and perennial. So how we made a difference based on lifespan. That means how many years it will live, right? Annuals will normally live for a short time. That means only for 1 year, or we can say it like one season also. Okay, that's also fine. And biennials for 2 years. Normally they will show 1 year of the growth and second year as the reproduction, okay, flowering and everything. So third one is a perennial. That means many years, more than 2 years, right? So what we see normally, the trees and everything belongs to perennial, and some of them belongs, herbs are belongs to annual or biennial. Okay. Okay, got it, Chirag. Okay. Next, we made a classification based on a nutrition, right? So how we made it then? We made a simple classification, one as like autotrophs. So what we normally see, which actually utilize the photosynthetic ability of them and utilize the water, hydrogen, sorry, water, carbon dioxide, and the sunlight for the production of the food or the glucose, we can say. Okay, so anything, food. And the second one is the heterotrophs. That means they can't actually produce the food. That's why they are dependent upon the other producers. This heterotroph may be a parasite, this heterotroph may be a different kind of the plants like saprophytic plant, okay, or it may be a insectivorous plant, okay, kind of, not completely heterotroph, it's a kind of, okay. So those are the some modification which happened in the lifespan of the plants, right? So someone asked regarding that parasitic plants comes under the heterotrophs or not. Yes, parasitic plants comes under the heterotrophs. Even though some of them are partial kind of heterotroph, still it's heterotroph only. Okay. And another one, actually, I left it. I thought of like adding it here only in this slide only. That is a classification based on flowering. Okay. So we made two classification. One as the monocarpic and second one is the polycarpic. Okay. This is simple. So you can get it in like seconds. Okay, what's the meaning? Mono means single, you know that. Carpic means flowering. Okay, probably you heard the term, who are completed the morphology charter already, familiar with the term carp, right? Carpus, everything that related to the ovary and the fruit. So monocarpic means these will flower only one time in its life. Okay, in its life it only flowers only one time. Okay, not many times. You can say in this way, like all annuals are belongs to here. Okay, all annuals, because they will flower only one time, right? Exactly. All annuals and biennials, most of the biennials, I'm not going for all, but most of the biennials and all annuals comes under the monocarpic. But there are some other plants are there. Those are actually perennial, but they are monocarpic. Can anybody give an example? A perennial, that means lives for many years, but flowers only one time, then it will die. Okay, after flowering, it will directly dies. Okay, exactly. Bamboo. So if you just observe the bamboo, it can live for 50 years. Okay, varies depending on the species, but average the 50 years. After 50 years, it will flower. After flowering, it will die. Okay, that's it. Or you can also take an example of Nilkuranchi. So we are again coming to this one. Actually, we discussed the same thing when we are discussing about the scientific names, right? Nilkuranchi is a flowering plant, a blue color. Neela means blue, right? A blue color flowering plant which you can find in the Western Ghats region. So probably you guys already seen in the thumbs up advertisement. He normally says, right, can you wait for 16 years for it to flower, right? He will ask, then he will say like, we have to drink the thumbs up and not thumbs up. This one, what's that? Another one is there, right? Mountain Dew. Yeah, Mountain Dew. Okay. So, and he will jump then. So that one actually. So Nilkuranchi plants will grow for 16 years, and that's also depending on the species. Some are 12 years also. And after 16 or 12 years, they will flower at a time and they will die off. Okay. Then new plant will come from those seeds. Then 16 years it will grow, and then again it will flower. Okay. So that's it. So these are related to monocarpic. Polycarpic means probably you got it now only. Poly means many, carpic means related to flower. That means the flower many times. So flower many times. So here I can't say all perennials because some of the perennials are monocarpic, right? So you can say all larger plants or trees like mango or coconut. So they flower every year or like after every 2 years, 3 years, something like that. But they will flower many times within their lifespan, right? Within their lifespan, like within their like 20 years, 100 years or 200 years, they will flower many times. That we call it as the polycarpic. Okay. So just wanted to tell that last time I forgot. Okay. That's why I did here only. So these are the things we studied. I will repeat one more time. Monocarpic means flower only one time in its life. Example, all annuals or bamboo, Nilkuranchi, okay, Strobilanthus kuntiana, the scientific name, which you don't, no need. Okay. Second, polycarpic, flowers many times. So mango and coconut. Okay. Good evening, guys who came late. We not started yet. We are studying about the things which, we are just discussing about the things we studied last class. So we will go to the questions then, okay, before starting the class. Good evening, guys. Okay. So first question came. The question is simple. Plant lives for many years and bears fruits every year. These plants are known as annual polycarpic, biennial polycarpic, perennial and polycarpic, annual and monocarpic. Okay. Now only we discussed the things, so I think it will be easy for everyone, right? So I'm launching the poll and I'm waiting for your responses in the Zoom, and who are in the YouTube live chat can answer in the YouTube live chat section. Okay. And for the people who are new in the YouTube live platform, can access your chat section. It is in the in between where there you can put your all the queries and your answers. Okay. So yep, 30 seconds are over. Still you guys have another 30 seconds. So I'm just waiting. Yep. So like every time when a UT happened, the attendance become little decreased. Okay. Then for taking it to some time, it will take more than like 1 month. Then again UT will come. Who is this? All in one. Hi. Okay. I'm ending the poll in 10 seconds. So I'm ending the poll and I'm sharing the results. 15% chosen option A, 8% B, 75% C, and 2% D. And in YouTube, everyone chosen option C. Okay. We will see what is the correct answer. What they are asking here, they are asking about plant lives for many years. Many years means it should be perennial. Right, many means perennial, many years it's living, and bears fruit every year. That means multiple time it's bearing the fruit. Then you can call it as like polycarpic. Then you have to find the answer where you can find both the options. So if you know the perennial, you could have answered, right? Annual, biennial, perennial, annual. You can directly select here. If you check here also, it's correct only. perennial, and polycarpic. Right? Correct answer, everyone. Good. And next question. Okay. So next question is also easy. The root bears, what they're asking, what root will have? Okay. Nodes only, internodes only, both nodes and internodes, and none of the above. Okay. I'm launching the poll. This question is also easy. So initial part is there, right? For in NEET, normally they won't ask questions from the initial part. Okay, they normally ask questions from the inflorescence, seed, that kind of the parts regularly, or stem leaf, that kind of the part. But if you go through the CET or ICAR kind of the exams, they also ask questions from the starting point. Okay, what we discussed, right? Perennial, herbs, all those things. Yes, I'm waiting. So 30 seconds are over, still 30 seconds left. For the people who don't know the meaning of herbs, ICAR means Indian Council of Agriculture Research. This is a national level exam for getting into the national level colleges for agriculture, horticulture, forestry, fisheries, and all those things. Okay, so what we have in a state colleges, right? Exactly. These are like you do engineering in IITs, right? IIT is a national college, exactly. ICAR is a national college for agriculture or agricultural engineering. Okay, I'm ending the poll. We already got a lot of time. Yes, and I'm sharing the results. 6% chosen option A, 6% chosen option B, 23% chosen option C, but 64% chosen option D. And in YouTube, yeah, I got this same option A. Okay, we'll see what is the correct answer. So simple. While discussing about the root, we mentioned one thing, that is roots do not have any nodes or the internodes, right? It do not have any buds or anything. That means you can't find a node or internode. Okay, you can't find a kind of node or internode. So the correct answer is none of the above. Then you can ask me, sir, where we can find the node or internode? You can find the node and internode in the stem. Okay, so we can't say this one, node only, internode only, because nodes exist only, internodes will be there. If there is internode, then that means node is also there. Okay. Chirant, I will text you later. Okay. CLAT is for law. Okay. Getting into the BA LLB or BSc LLB, that kind of thing. Okay. So these are the things, guys. Then we will quickly move on to our discussion part. Actually, we discussed these things also. I just want to repeat it. So roots are non-green, and they are non-green. That means non-green color because it do not have any chlorophyll. Sorry, I stuck there for 1 second. Okay, because there is no chlorophyll, right? It do not have any chlorophyll. Which have the chlorophyll then? Stem have the chlorophyll, right? And it's underground part. It's majorly underground. Okay, you can't say that, sir, I found a root which is above the ground. Can we call it as a stem? No. What we are saying is like generally it's underground. Okay, mostly it's underground, and these are positively geotropic. And that means it has some character. That means it will move towards the earth, right? Positively means it goes. Okay, negatively means it goes away, right? Positively means move towards. Okay, move towards earth. So that's what we call it as the positively geotropic. Okay, geo means earth, right? And negatively phototropic. That means it tends to go away from light. Okay, away from light. Why it's doing that? Because it do not have any work in the light, and light is dangerous if you don't have any work, because it will desiccate the plant organs, right? It will take the moisture and everything. It's dangerous. That's why it wants to go away from the light. Okay. And it's a positively hydrotropic. That means what it will do, this will go towards the water. It wants to move towards the water because water is the way it can get the nutrition, and water is highly essential for the plant for doing the photosynthesis, right? For the photosynthesis process. That's why it shows this kind of nature. Okay. Then roots do not bear the buds. So it do not have any buds or anything. Buds are the starting points of the new branches, okay, or the leaf. And the roots do not have the nodes and internodes also. Okay, you can't find a node and internode. So we discussed it, right? This one is the node and this one is the node, and in between space is the internode. I'm repeating it one more time because if somebody don't know, then it's just a revision, right? And roots have a unicellular root hairs. They have a hair-like structure, okay, hair-like structure, and this hair-like structures, sorry, I should not write in this way. It should be something like this, okay? So this hair-like structure are unicellular, okay? Unicellular means what? A single cell, it's made up of a single cell. The root cell will be something like this, okay? If you watch this under the microscope, it looks something like this. Okay, so it will be unicellular. Those are the major things. Okay, exactly. So next, we divided the roots into two major types. Okay, one is a tap root and another is the adventitious root. Before we going to dive into tap and adventitious root, we just have to see what's the meaning of the radical. Okay, so in a germinating seed, you can find 2 points. One from where actually roots will originate, okay, and another from where actually shoot will develop, okay. From where the shoot will develop, we call it as the plumule, okay. Plumule is the one from where actually shoot is getting developing, and radical is the one from where root is getting developing. It's easy to remember, R for radical and R for root, okay. So what is taproot then? So which are the roots? It's directly developing from the radical. That means radical will grow and form the root. That kind of root you can call it as the tap root, okay, or we normally call it as mother root, right? In our native languages, we call it as mother root. Why we call it in a mother root? Because it is the mother. Radical is the mother, and that's the only given rise to all this kind of the root, right? That's why tap root, mother root, different kind. But we normally use the term tap root only. So where you can find it? You can find it in the all dicot roots or dicot plants. Okay. So second one is the adventitious and fibrous root. So both are the same meaning only. Okay. We normally use these terms interchangeably. Okay. So what's the meaning of adventitious or fibrous root? So that means these are the, which one I have to repeat? Okay. Last one, I think, right? So, I'm repeating this one. There is a seed, when it's germinating, you can find 2 points. From one point, next stem will develop. From another point, root will develop. Okay. This particular point will go towards the earth, and this point will move away from the earth, right? The branch or the part which is going towards the earth, or the part we call it as the radical. From the radical, root will develop, okay, which is going away from the earth is called plumule, from where actually the shoot is developed, okay. So radical means a branch of the germinating seed or germinating plant, which give rise to the root, okay, which give rise to the root. So in taproot, it only develops and forms the root, okay. So as you can see here, so a root is there, and this particular root only giving rise to all secondary tertiary roots. Okay, but this is the major root. You can see, right? It's something like this. From there, next everything is branching out, no issue. But in adventitious root, that thing won't happen. What happens in adventitious roots then? Okay, in adventitious root, the radical will stop develop. Okay, it will come almost up to this size. So then it will stop develop. The roots will arise, the other roots will arise from the base point, okay, base point, not from the radical only. Radical is not giving the root here. Radical stops there, but from the base points, the roots are developing, okay. So when that happens, it's not only give the single root, it will give the multiple roots, okay. Those multiple roots will develop into a fibrous form, as you can see here, okay, as you can see here, it will give all the fibrous kind of the meshy kind of the structure. That's what we call it as the cords. So I'm taking the example of the grass also. Okay, but remember one more thing, guys. Adventitious root simply means the development of root other than radical. Okay. So why I told you this time only because the root may be present in this portion like a fibrous root, or this adventitious root can be found in the dicots in some other parts. We will see that in the later on. Okay. Don't get confused. Don't think that much. Okay. Differentiation you can't understand. Simple. Taproot, radical only give rest root. Adventitious or fibrous root other than the radical. Okay, other than the radical. That means radical will stop growing. Okay, then roots start develop from this major branch. This you can't say it as a radical because the radical is already stopped growing. Okay, so here all these are branching out from the other parts of the plant, not from the radical. Okay, if it is not from the radical, then it's adventitious or fibrous root. Simple. Okay, so but some say fibrous and adventitious roots are different. Ha, Niruddha. I told you right. The confusion is caused because adventitious roots simply means that the plants other than the radical. Okay, but the meaning of fibrous, the root should be somewhat messy. Okay, but all the adventitious roots are not fibrous roots, but all the fibrous roots are the adventitious roots. Okay, this time and this way. We will see that when we discuss about types of adventitious roots, then you will understand more properly. Okay. So root hairs are unicellular. That means one hair is a single cell or composed of single cell. That means a root hair is formed of a single cell. Okay, it's formed of a single cell. Single cell will make a single root hair. Okay. If fibrous root is adventitious to plants, like meaning is vice versa. You can use it in all the way. Okay. So any questions relating to this from the YouTube? Like I'm just waiting. This is your time. Okay. So if you have any doubt, you can put it in the chat box so we can solve the doubt. Same in the Zoom also. Like if you have any doubt, you can put that now. Later we can discuss. Okay then, no doubt it's coming. We can move on then. So we just check about the root parts of the roots. Okay. So morphological distinctive portions or the regions in the root. Okay. The first region is the root cap. Okay. So I took a section here. If you check it clearly, fibrous roots develop from the base of the stem or not. Exactly. Oh, exactly. It's not from the radical. It's other the radical. Okay. It's part of the stem or the fusion of the where this root plumule and radical is there. That kind of the parts. Exactly. Okay. So this roots, the first thing is the root cap. So it's a terminal structure. That means if I wrote this one, root like this, here you can find the root cap. So exactly here you can find the root cap. Okay. So it's already covered here. Okay. So I have another one picture. In this, you can find the root cap here. Okay. Root cap in here. So what's the function of the root cap? Okay. So root is going inside this one soil and burrowing and forming the new branches and everything, right? So root cap act like a helmet. Okay, it's act like a helmet. So what it will do, it will protect the tender apex of the root. So root apexes are very tender. That means very squishy and everything. Okay, there are like stem cells will be there. This is act like it's a kind of a hard structure which act like a helmet to that. Okay, that's why the internal structure or internal cells won't get damaged. Okay, so can we see that? Yeah, exactly. But when you are pulling a plant from the soil, what happens? The root caps will be remain in the soil. Okay, so that time finding those things are a little difficult. But you can find the root cap in the ficus species. Okay, ficus means how can I say it? How can I put it? Like banyan trees, right? Banyan trees will be there, right? So in the banyan trees, probably some of you seen, roots will be hanging like this, right? Roots will be hanging like this. Those are the adventitious roots. Okay. If you have the time, especially if it is like rainy season, the growth will be high. Okay. Then go and look in this particular part of the root. There you can find the root hair. Sorry, you can find the root cap. Sorry. Okay, you can find the root cap. This is like very easy way to find the root cap, okay, in a precise manner, in a most beautiful manner, okay, because whenever you are taking plant from the soil, the root cap will be remain there, or it's like very thin, you can't differentiate, everything happens. But in this kind of root, you can differentiate very clearly, and it's like very beautiful, okay. So try to get it, try to find a plant and try to look for the root cap, okay. So root cap will be in the apex or in the complete end of the root, okay. What's the next part? So next part is the meristematic zone, okay. So what's the meristematic zone then? These zones are having meristem cells, okay. Tender means, how can I say, guys, what is the synonym for the tender? Synonym for tender? It's like tender coconut you saw. Soft, exactly, soft. Like very soft, tender coconut we normally say, right? That's kind of like that. Okay, exactly. Thank you. Delicate, sensitive. Yeah, you can use all those words. Thank you. Okay, so the second portion is the meristematic zone. Okay, meristematic zone. Probably you got it already, right? We already discussed about stem cells, meristem cells, right? Meristematic zones means these having the cells which can divide continuously, okay, and give rise to other kind of the cells. So these are very important portion because these are the zone only giving the cells to the behind portion. Okay, this is like an enzyme. It's giving all the things, right? And these cells are a thin walled cells. Okay, so I'm just putting it one more time in here. So here you can say meristem zone, meristem zone. Meristem zone. Zone means a area, right? And these cells are normally thin walled. Why they are thin walled? Because they are dividing, keep on dividing quickly, okay, without wasting any time. They no need to get toughened or anything, right? Because if it's a xylem or if it's supporting structure, then it should have a higher concentration of cellulose or a thick wall and everything, but it do not have that kind of function. The only function is how to keep on dividing, right? That's why these are thin walled and they divide repeatedly and increase the cell number because the root have to grow. Okay, so if I tell you to check for this one, mitosis, then where you have to find? You have to look through this meristematic zone of the root, where you can find the cells which are going through division repeatedly. There you can find the highly repeated mitosis. Okay, highly repeated mitosis. So in laboratory, we normally use the onion root, this one, okay, root tips for the mitosis experiments. Not like this is not a reproduction. No. Okay, this is not a reproduction. This is the production. Okay, branches also have root cap. All the roots will have the root caps. Okay, not stem branches. Okay, roots will have the root caps. So, all like sub branches we are asking. Sub branches, secondary, tertiary, all kinds of roots will have the root cap. Yeah. Is growth of roots are limited or unlimited? This a plant. Plant is only not limited, right? The growth of plant is not limited. It's unlimited growth. Okay, until it gets the nutrition, it will grow continuously, right? So meristem zone is keep on giving the cells. Okay, keep on giving the cells, and the particular roots will be keep on going or keep on growing until it do not get any nutrition. Okay, until it will comes under stress. Okay, until then it's growing on. Okay, so next is the elongation zone. What is the elongation zone? This zone will comes above the meristematic zone. Okay, so probably you guys already guessed it. In this, the cells will grow. Cell will grow. What happened here in this? Here is the root cap. I'm just repeating it one more time. Okay, and here you can find the meristems. Okay, this meristem is giving rise to cells in this direction, but this meristem, the cells which are comes here do not have the ability to continuously divide, but they do have the another function. That means they have to grow or they have to be in the G1 phase, right? they will be in the G1 phase and they will be keep on growing. Okay, that's why these cells, we can normally call it as the elongation zone, because this small kind of the cells, when grow into this kind of big cell, then the region will elongate in this direction, right? The particular region will elongate. That's why we call it as the elongation zone. The cells are proximal to the meristematic zone, proximal and distal. Probably you guys already know that. That means near one. Okay, and undergo rapid elongation and enlargement because they are in the G1 phase, and they are responsible for the rapid growth of the roots. Okay, some of the roots can also have the ability to grow several centimeters within a day. Okay, like that much of elongation is happening, that much of growth is happening in a single cell. Okay, when the conditions is very good. Okay, so proximal means near. Okay, proximal means near. Distal means distance. Okay, far away. Okay, proximal means near and distal means far away. Okay, so that much. So elongation will happen. Last one and important zone is the maturation zone. Okay, so what's the meaning of maturation zone? This particular zone, we call it as the maturation zone. Remember, in elongation zone, the cells are elongated. Okay, they are in G1. Yeah, we can understand that. But they can be converted into some other types of the cells, right? Maturation zone, in the maturation zone, they will reach a particular kind of the cell. Okay, depends on the ability. That means in the meristems, all the cells are same only. Okay, like this, all the cells are same only. But when they are growing in the maturation region, some of them will become enlarged and having a vacuole, and they will become a parenchyma cells. Okay, probably you already know the differentiation of parenchyma, collenchyma, and all the things. It's already came in like junior classes, right? And some of them may become a hard structures and become a sclerenchyma cells. Sclerenchyma cells. These sclerenchyma cells may form the xylem, and when joining with this parenchyma and sclerenchyma, some of them may also form the phloem. Okay, that means in the maturation zone, the proximal to the region of elongation is differentiation is happening. Okay, what's the meaning of differentiation? Differentiation means a kind of a regular kind of a cell will change into a different kind of the cell. Okay, so what is happening here, right? Meristem cell is changing into the parenchyma cell. This kind of process, you can call it as like differentiation. We will again study about differentiation, dedifferentiation, redifferentiation, everything in the plant physiology. Don't take tension about these things. Just only remember, a cell which is giving rise to another permanent kind of structure, we normally call it as the differentiation. Okay, so in this reason only, the cells will differentiate and also give rise to another kind of cell, cells which is cilia kind of the nature. So we normally refer it as the root hairs. Okay, so if someone asks you like where you can find the root hairs, you can see that the root hairs are found in the maturation zone. Okay, that's why whenever you take a root, if you observe just the meristematic zone of the root, you can't find any root hairs because their root hairs are not found, because cells are not yet differentiated. Where you can find the root hairs? You can find the root hairs only in the maturation zone. That's why you can like find it in here. Okay, that's why you can only find it in here. Okay. Remember, in the maturation zone, you can find the primary xylem and the primary phloem, okay, and the different regions and everything. Okay, link to join Telegram channel. Okay, 1 second. Oh, okay, I will text that later. Okay, so so as xylem and phloem will be developed in here. Okay. Then let me ask a question. Okay, so think that plant is there, okay, which is actually affected by a virus. Okay, think about this plant, what we normally know, tobacco plant, and it is affected by the tobacco mosaic virus. Then which part of the plant I won't get? I will get the virus-free cells. Okay, a plant is there which is affected by the tobacco mosaic virus. I'm just asking in which part of the plant, I can get the virus-free cells. Can anybody tell me virus-free cells? No, Chirant? Exactly. Not in the root here, not in there. Exactly, you can find the virus-free cells in the meristems. Okay. Why I asked this question in here? Why I asked the question in maturation zone? I could have told this in this one only, right? Meristem zone, but I mentioned in here because the virus in a plant normally, no, not in the leaf or anything. Exactly. Who is that? Venkat and here a lot of people, right? So virus normally move in a plant through xylem and the phloem. Okay, normally through those pipe-like structures. So virus can reach cells up to the maturation zone only. Okay, up to the maturation zone. In a fewer cases, it can reach up to the zone of elongation also. Okay, but they can't reach the meristematic zone because there is no connection of xylem and phloem. Okay, that's why you can find the virus-free cells from a virus-ridden plant in the meristems, not in the maturation region. Okay, so remember about that. This is the virus can only reach up to the maturation zone or up to the elongation zone. Okay, because they normally travel through the xylem and phloem. That's the reason. Okay. So this much related to zones. Do you have any doubt? So if you have any doubt, you can share it in the this one chat. Okay, then I will try to answer. So if you don't have any doubt, you can click on yes or just put a message like yes. Then I will move on. Okay. So okay, I'm just waiting for any question. So we'll solve a question. Okay, if you have any doubt, like we will come back to that. So our question is there. Yeah. So CFU scheme, the question is simple. Root hairs will be found in root cap, meristematic zone, elongation zone, and maturation zone. Sorry, because this question is too easy. Okay, I'm just launching the poll. You guys answer quickly. Okay. I don't think nobody will answer wrong, but somebody already given wrong. Okay, leave it. So I'm waiting from the YouTube. I haven't checked this question. Okay, so that's why this question becomes so easy. No problem. We have some other questions. Okay, you guys have last 30 seconds. Exactly, Manusha. Some of the root cap also produce not like the parental cells, which some of them also produce the so a mucus kind of the structure. So that also help in the movement of the roots. Okay. Actually, the pictures are they want to show, right? If they wrote it like very small, you can't differentiate. That's why they given root hairs in a big structure. But it is not as it seems. Comparison will not be there. Okay, regular pictures comparison will not be there. Very few pictures only we will make a comparative things and we will draw it, but it's difficult, right? Yep. I'm ending the poll. It's already 1 hour. Sorry, 1 minute. Okay. I'm sharing the results. 5% chosen option A, 3% B, 10% C, and 82% D. Okay. I thought I shared the result. Yeah. So in YouTube, everyone chosen option D. Exactly. There is nothing to discuss, right? Do you guys want a discussion? No, right? Root hairs, where you can find? Only you can find it in a maturation zone. So there only you can find the root hairs, so not anywhere else. Okay. If I wrote a root like this, I have to draw root hairs above this, not in tip. Okay. I have to put the root hairs in this portion only. Okay. So we'll move on then. So next is a modification of the root. Okay. So what's the meaning of modification? Simple. So in the evolution, the different organisms went into different strategies. Okay, they needed different strategies because they have to compete. Okay, we will take an example. So think about a street. Okay, in the street, the complete street which filled with the non-veg hotels. Okay, non-veg hotels, non-veg shops. Okay, non-veg food centers and everything. Okay, you want to start a new shop in there. Okay, you want to start a new shop in there. Then what kind of shop you want to start? Is it better to start another one non-veg shop, or is it better to start a veg shop, vegetarian meal shop? Okay, which one do you guys think? Yeah, I'm waiting in YouTube. Yeah, you guys are giving correct, but I'm waiting from YouTube also. Okay, depends on people in that region. Good, Akshay. Yes, exactly right. So the thing is, we will have the two consequences. Okay, you start a vegetarian hotel in there, okay, and all the other hotels are non-vegetarian. So like in a group of friends, also one or two will be vegetarian only, right? They are struggle to find a vegetarian hotel in there, and they will find your hotel, and they will start to come. And like a lot of people are bored of non-veg, also come to your hotel, and it will be like grow big. And that's a good strategy, right? Nature is like we having both vegetarian and non-vegetarian. This is going fine and everything. Okay. Then think about what happens if you start another one non-veg hotel. Okay, you will be a new shop. You should have a new strategy. Otherwise, competition will be there. You have to compete with the other shops. It will be 20 or 100 other shops. You have to try to struggle to get into a new kind of the strategy to get money or to make money. Right, that's a hard. There's another scenario is there. You started a vegetarian hotel and all the other shops are non-vegetarian, and all the people in that region also non-vegetarian. Okay, all the people, and none of them want to eat the vegetarian. Then what happens? Then even though you are the only hotel in that complete region, your hotel again have to close the shop, right? Yeah, again you have to close your shop because nobody is coming to your hotel because none of them are vegetarian and none of them wants to eat a vegetarian dish. Okay, so our evolution is exactly like this. Okay, so our evolution is like a street. Okay, nature is a street, or the people is the street. Okay, the species or the new species is the shop. Okay, new species is the shop. If that particular shop or that particular species is good for that particular nature, then it will grow or it will survive. Okay, or it will goes on like extinct. Okay, how we actually closed our vegetarian shop in non-vegetarian region, right? Exactly like that. The species are always formed without having a clue. Okay, though they don't have a clue that they will become like this or they will become like that, anything. Okay, after they are becoming, based on the nature, okay, based on the natural selection, that means nature, either they will survive or they will go extinct or they will become a dominant species. Okay, they will become a dominant one. Okay, so even though like in the all the non-veg shop, you started a non-veg shop and you are giving a very good kind of food, then even though competition is there, instead of people going to other shops, everyone come to your shop, right? Then you can boom, you will grow into a big giant hotel, right? Exactly, the competition will be there, or you may lose the competition, or you may like completely extinct from the things. Okay, so that's what made all these different kinds of plants and organisms possible. Okay, we will study these things later in the evolution chapter in the 12th class. Leave it. Okay. Exactly. So based on this kind of evolution, we came across with different kind of the modification. So we can call this modification as the life strategies. Okay, life strategies means for surviving in a particular condition, it need a strategy, and those strategies are the modification. Okay, those strategies are our modification. Okay, we will see. The first modification is based on storage. Okay, storage means how it's storing the food. Okay, in the root part, we are discussing about the root only here. So don't think about the stem, leaf or anything. We will see that later on. Okay, I discuss all those things. Just only concentrate about the root and storage in the root. Okay, that's also we are studying the storage in the taproot. Okay, so we are only taking taproot plants, and in that we are taking the storage, how it will be there. Okay, in that first kind of the root, we normally call it as the fusiform root. Okay, so what are fusiform roots then? So these fusiform roots are thicker in the middle and tapered at the both ends. Okay, so the example for this is a radish, as you can see here. So if you observe this kind of roots, so it has the thicker middle part and tapering at the both ends. Okay, tapering at the both ends. The tapering may different. Okay, one side tapering will be more, another will be tapering will be less, but tapering will be there only. Tapering means like this. Okay, so this is what we call it as a fusiform root. Okay, so this is a kind of modification. So example is radish. Okay, second one is a conical root. Conical means conical plask. You already heard, right? Conical plask means like this. Exactly. Make it like ulta. Okay. So what is conical roots? These roots are thicker at the upper side and tapering at the lower side. Okay. The example is our carrot. Okay. If you see that, or if you observe is how it will be. Here it will be like flat kind of structure will be there, and then it will go for a tapering end, right? So we call these kind of roots as the conical roots. Okay, conical kind of the roots. Third kind of root we normally found in the taproot is the napiform roots. Napiforms, these are having a bulb-like structure above, or swollen above, or spherical above, and tapered in the below. Okay, so you can take an example of turnip, sugar beet, that means beetroot, we normally say, right? So I will write the name in there only. Okay, so beetroot. Why we call it as the sugar beet? Can anybody tell me why we call beetroot as the sugar beet? So you guys can answer that, because like I told this in last but one chapter. Anybody? Anybody? Is it sweet? Correct answer. It's sweet. Another one answer is there. Exactly. Exactly. It contains sucrose, and we normally extract the sugar from the beetroot plants one time now also. Okay, in some part of the part of the world, especially in the European countries, and they normally extract the sugar from the beetroot. That's why it's called as a sugar beet, or it will be sweet. That's also one of the reasons. Okay, beetroot we normally call it, right? That will be having a complete swollen structure above and tapering end in the below, right? So that's the napiform root. And fourth one is a tuberous root. Tuberous root means it do not have any shape. Okay, it do not have any particular kind of the shape, like mirabilis. You can take the other kind of the examples. Okay, this may be like something like this and something like this or something like this. Do not have any shape or anything. They will grow however they want. Okay, so those are mirabilis. Remember these four different kinds of taproot modification. This is very important. Okay, it is given in the textbook, not given in the textbook, that doesn't matter, but this is important. Okay, I'm writing it here only. So there are like several times the question are asked based on this one. Okay, however, sweet potato, exactly, sweet potato is sweet in taste. We normally don't extract the sweets from that, but sorry, sugar from that, but it's sweet in taste, that much only. Yeah. So this is very, very important. Okay, this four different categories. Any doubts, guys? Guys, for the people who are in the YouTube, the issue is like we have a 3 Telegram groups based on the different Navodaya regions. Okay, just I have to know like which group you are belongs to. So do one thing, text me. Okay, so I will give the number one more time. So you just put a message to that number, then you will end with your region. That means you are belongs to Shillong region, Pune region, or Hyderabad region. Then I will add you. Okay, I will add you. So then I will add you guys to that particular region. Okay. How can we identify them as a taproot? By looking at them. Yeah, good question. Okay, but I hate. So how we can differentiate? Because in all these different kinds of root, you can find these are the there is no branching or fibrous kind of nature you can't find. Okay, when we discussing about fibrous kind, adventitious root modification, then you will come to know. You can find a single root here, right? A single root, and single root. These are tertiary, quaternary, secondary roots. Okay, leave that. But you can find a single root is there that is getting swollen, right? That's how you can identify this as the taproot system modifications. Okay, exactly. We will move on. So second one is a those are storage. Okay, apart from storage, also some other modifications are there. Okay, apart from storage, some other modifications are there for different kind of the nature. The first one is the respiratory roots. Okay, respiratory roots, we normally call it as the pneumatophores. Okay, pneumatophores. So what are pneumatophores or the respiratory roots? Okay, there are some kind of the plants, we normally call it as a mangrove plant, where it will grow. It will grow in a marshy saline area. Okay, that means along the shores of the estuaries or along the shores of the ocean or the seas. Okay, there what happens, the soil is completely filled with the water. Okay, and the root root won't get any air to respire. Okay, don't think that only the plant stem respiration will happen. In the root also respiration will happen, and all the cells have to do respiration. Okay, it's a mandatory process. Okay, normal all the other plants, they will get the oxygen, or they will get the air which is actually you can find it within the regular soil. Okay, but in these marshy areas, the air molecule will be replaced by the water molecule, so they can't find any water in there. Okay, they can't find any air in the soil. Okay, then what they will do, the plant will be something like this, and the area will be something like this, and this plant will produce some of the roots that will comes above the ground. Okay, comes above the ground. This is, just imagine, this is like against our sentence, right? We told that away from the light, we told that negatively phototropic, but here it's coming like this. So why it is coming like this? If I zoom in little bit, these roots have small pore-like structures. Okay, small pore structures. This pore will help in the respiration process. This pore will help in the exchange of gases, which in turn help in the exchange of the which in turn help in the respiration process. Okay. Exactly, Chirant. So this roots also called as pneumatophores. Okay, and where actually where actually air enter and goes out. Okay, so example is the Rhizophora, Heritaria, Sonaratia, and another one is like Rhizophora and Avicennia. Okay, Avicennia. So these kind of plants you can find in the seashore. Probably try to find these plants. Okay, whenever you are traveling along the seashores. So especially in the seashores of Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra. Okay, so in all those regions. Okay, so in all the seashores, I'm not mentioning anything because everywhere you can find. Okay, so this is important because they ask questions related to pneumatophores or respiratory root several times. Okay, regular, I told you, right? Regular roots will respire because think that this is the regular plant. Okay, this is the halophyte. Halophyte means the plant which is grow in this saline marshy area. Okay, saline marshy area. Think that this is a regular plant. These are the roots like this, right? So this will find the oxygen air which trapped inside the soil. Okay, air will be trapped inside the soil. Okay, is it respire through diffusion? You can call it as like diffusion only. Okay, because air will travel from here to here. Regularly respiration happens through diffusion only. Okay, that's why. And another one. So that's why probably you guys heard that for the potted plant, if you add too much water, the plants will start to die, right? So potted plant, if you add too much of water, it will start to die. Even in the regular farm field also, if you add too much water, 24 into 7, if you leave the water open, then the plants will start to decay. Why that will happen? When you like put lot of water in here, okay, lot of water in this particular region, then this water will penetrate the soil and it will replace the air molecule. Then the root will don't get any enough oxygen for respiration. That's why plant will start to die. Exactly. Root death. Exactly. Okay. So any doubt regarding nematophores or respiratory root? If you have any, just put it in the chat box. Okay. So respiratory root or nematophores, you can find it in the halophytes or the mangroves. Halophytes are the plants which grow in the marshy saline areas where the oxygen will be less in the soil. That's why they will produce the roots which can grow above the ground, and they will get the air from the environment. Okay, all these are the not all. Okay, all these are the our nematophores or the respiratory roots. Okay. Monisha, ginger we will come to later. Okay, ginger belongs to the adventitious. We will come to and there's also stem modification. Okay, we will discuss that later. We will discuss about later. So next one is a tuberous root. Here we are actually discussing about storage in the adventitious root. Remember what we are discussing in this particular one, we are actually discussing about adventitious root modification. Okay, the first one is a tuberous root. How these tuberous roots are different? Okay, these are stored food. Okay, and they are swollen and they are normally present in a bunch. Example is sweet potato. Okay, so here the plant will be something like this. Okay, plant will be something like this. Something like this. The sweet potatoes are something like this. Okay, that means in a single plant you can find more than one sweet potatoes. How it is happening then? Because it's a fibrous root system. Each root is giving rise to a single potatoes or single sweet potatoes. Okay, correct. Okay, that's why sir, all halophytes are nematophores. Yeah, most of the halophytes have the nematophores. Exactly. Okay. So what happens here? The tuberous roots are multiple within a single plant because they are produced from a fibrous root or adventitious root, not from the tap. If it's a tap root, you can only find one sweet potato, but it is not a tap root. That's why you can find multiple sweet potato in a single root. Okay, in a single root, multiple. So sweet potato, the scientific name is Ipomea batata, and sorry because I made it smaller. This should be a capital, right? Because it's a genus name, Ipomea batata. Don't confuse with the our regular potato, because potato scientific name is Solanum tuberosum. That is different. This is different. Okay. So second kind of the differentiation is the fasciculated root. Okay. So that means root arise in a bunch or in a cluster from the lower node of the stem and become fleshy. Okay. So remember what they are saying. So plant is like this. Okay. A fibrous root is like this. Where these roots are coming, new roots are coming, these are coming from the lower node and they are making a branch. Okay. And they are becoming swollen and fleshy. Fleshy means squeezy. That means a tomato like. Okay. You can think about tomato as the fleshy. Okay. Soft. Okay. Soft kind of roots it will produce. Okay. So you can find it in here. Okay. So this is one of the example. Dahlia. Dahlia is a flowering plant. We normally call it as like dere flower, and some of you also call it as like bettadavare. I will show the picture next class if it's possible. Try to find the picture of dahlia. Okay. And asparagus roots, these are okay. Here you can find so several this ones, right? Storage roots, not a single one. So that's how you can say that this belongs to the adventitious root. Okay. So these are the major type of the storage. Don't think that these are the only things. I left something which are not important. Okay. So then there are some other kind of adventitious roots also there. Okay. Apart from storage. So what are those then? The first one is the stilt root or the brace roots. Okay. So what are these then? Stilt root or the brace root arises from the lower node and enter into the soil obliquely, and these are normally called as stilt root. Don't confuse this particular kind of root with the root which you can find it in the last one. So what you find in here, fasciculated. Fasciculated root also is coming from the lower node, but it's doing the function of storage. But stilt root not doing any storage function, it's giving the support to the plant. Okay. do this function, which will do function of, Jayant, they do the function of root, and along with that they do this kind of function. Okay, don't think that there are some other organs. Root will do this, both of the things. Okay, both of the things. They will do the absorption and everything. A part of the roots, a part of the roots will act like this. Okay, so what's the function of stilt root? Stilt root will give support. If you find a maize plant, okay, make an experiment with a maize plant. How can you make an experiment? You try to cut the stilt root. Okay, whenever it will grow a new stilt root, cut it. Okay, so after that you will observe the root will, the plant will either like fall off, or it do not have that much of support. Whenever the air is blown, it will normally tilt and do everything. Okay, so that's how the stilt root are important. Okay, you can find it in monocots, maize and the sugarcane. Okay, sugarcane also same thing happens. Okay, so you can think about this as like electric poles. For the electric poles, normally electric department will give a supporting line like this, right? To stop it from falling off. Exactly like that. Stilt roots will support in 360-degree, and they will actually support the actual stem. Okay, actual stem. So sugarcane, pandanus, maize are the common examples you can think about. Okay. So second one is a prop root or the pillar root. So what are prop or pillar root? So here it comes, then you can understand this, right? When root arising from the branches of the plant and grow downwards towards the soil, okay, it functions as a supporting stem for the plant. Okay, look, this is what I thought of explaining that time. Okay, these are a type of adventitious root. Remember, this is a type of adventitious root. But can we call it as a fibrous root? No, you can't call it as a fibrous root, right? So this is just an adventitious root. This is not a fibrous root, right? But what we discussed about the fibrous root, right? All of them are a kind of adventitious root, right? Understood what I'm saying? I'm writing it here. Okay, all adventitious root are a kind of fibrous roots. Okay, fibrous root, but not all fibrous root are adventitious root. Okay, that means adventitious root simply states that not from this one, not from the radical, away from the radical. It may be any other part, right? Any other part. So you can find it's coming from the stem, right? It's coming from the stem, so it's growing like this. So you can call it as the modification of the adventitious roots, right? So as you can see here, this adventitious roots, we are not restricting it to the monocot only. We are telling which related to everything. Okay, but still you can find all this in dicot, because ficus is a dicot. Okay, the scientific name of banyan is ficus. Okay, so I'm writing it in a this one bracket. Okay, ficus species. I'm not going through the species name or anything. Ficus bengalensis actually, because we actually gave the name in Bengal, but several different species also there. Okay, so I'll come back to that. Sorry for like moving off. Prop roots or the pillar roots will normally come from the stem, and it will give the support to the stem. Okay, it will give support to the a part of the stem for falling off. Okay, so if you go for a great banyan tree, okay, great banyan tree or the Doddalamara in Bangalore, okay, in that the major or the first stem will be something like this. Okay, the first stem or actual stem will be something like this. Then what happens? All of the other things, it will be grown something like this, something this much big. Okay, something this much big. All of these branches are supported by these prop roots. If there is no prop roots, this branch will fall off, right? But because of this prop root, this particular banyan tree is getting survived, right? Major stem means this one only still, but the prop roots are giving a plant to grow big, a plant to grow big. Okay, so that's related to prop root or the pillar root. We call it as a pillar because it acts like a pillar, right? A pillar to the building, exactly pillar to the plant, right? That's why. So next one is a sucking or hostorial root or parasitic root. So we already seen. Sir, do plants get nutrition from the pillar roots also? No, it don't get a nutrition. It's a root, right? Root, it do not help in any this one. What is we call photosynthesis or anything. It only do the supporting or getting nutrition out of the soil, not from the photosynthesis. It will do the absorption. Exactly. The prop roots will do the absorption once it will reach the soil. Once it will reach the soil, then only it will start doing the this one. Since some of the trees, roots are more valuable than the wood. Exactly, Pritam. So sucking hostile root or the parasitic root. We already seen the parasitic plant, right? But we didn't saw how the parasite will extract the nutrition from the host plant, right? So plant is something like this, host plant, and our parasite are tying like this. Okay, our parasitic is something like this, things like this. But how our parasite is getting nutrition? This is the parasite, and think this is the host. How this is getting nutrition from the host plant? It have a kind of root. We call it as a hostoria. Hostoria, we normally use it in a fungi. Okay, but we can also use it in a here also. That means a root which can extract the nutrition from the host. Okay, so as you can observe here, mistletoe. Okay, so mistletoe plant is here. This is the host plant, host stem. Okay, here you can find the sucking root. Don't ask why it's green, because some color changes has happened this one. Okay, so this is the sucking root. This is penetrated deep in there. Okay, so why it should penetrate, or up to where it should penetrate? It should penetrate up to xylem and phloem, right? If it is a partial parasite, a partial root or stem parasite, it can penetrate up to the this one, xylem. That's enough. But it's a complete parasite, then it have to reach up to the phloem. Okay, phloem and xylem. So it will normally reach up to the vascular bundles or up to the xylem and phloem. Okay, xylem and phloem, and they will take nutrition from there. That's why we call it a sucking, because it's sucking the nutrition, or we also call it as the hostorial. All no, Maulya. Look here. I made a mistake or what? All sorry, I made a mistake, right? Nobody corrected, guys. Not all fibrous root, all fibrous roots are adventitious root. Not all adventitious roots are fibrous roots. Okay, sorry, you guys. Like I'm also in a hurry, right? I didn't saw that. Sorry for the mistake. Thank you, Molya. Okay, all fibrous roots are adventitious roots. Not all adventitious roots are fibrous roots. Now everything is correct. Okay, so all fibrous roots are a kind of adventitious roots only, but not all adventitious roots are fibrous roots, because banyan true roots are adventitious roots, not the fibrous roots. Okay, sorry for the mistake. Like I didn't saw in a hurry. Okay, thank you, Molya, for correcting it. Okay, yep. So we'll come back to here. So sucking or hostile root is that much only, guys. Like, so it is taking the nutrition from the plant. Okay, it's taking the nutrition from the plant, or sucking the plant vascular bundles, especially from the xylem and phloem. That's example, xylem and phloem. Example, you can take all the this one, parasitic plants. Okay, dendrophtha, casquita, viscum. Okay, so all those kind of the things. Okay, all those kind of parasites. So next one is assimilatory root. What are assimilatory roots? Assimilation means production. Okay, production, you can say. That will be present on the tree. Exactly, Chirant. Okay. Assimilatory roots, the aerial roots which can actually green and produce the food. Okay, remember these are the only exception for the root which can do the photosynthesis. Okay, I will just showing this one. The trapa. Okay, we normally call it like water chestnut. Okay, you can eat the this one. The seeds of this particular one plant. Okay, you can find it in water. There are like other also like Tinospora. Tinospora, Amritballi. We normally call it as Amritballi. It's a good medicine, we normally say, right? So that one. Okay, so Tinospora or the roots of the trapa or the roots of podestamon, so they will be having the chlorophyll on them, that means having chloroenchyma tissues, and they will produce the this one photosynthesis, or they will do the photosynthesis. These are exception to the roots. Okay, these are the only kinds of root which can produce the food. Okay, so Tinospora, if you want me to write it, Tinospora leaves will be something like this. Okay, so something like this. We call it as like Tinospora cordifolia, because cordi means heart, right? This leaf looks like heart-like leaf. Okay, so it will produce a root something like this. Okay, this root, like the root which is a this one twinner. Okay, it normally twining on the other plants, and it will produce a root. That root will be green in color because it also do the photosynthesis. I can see in trapa all these roots, you can see, right? These roots are green in color, and they also produce green in color, these roots, and they will also do the photosynthesis because they will be present in the water above surface only. They get the nutrition, sorry, they will get the sunlight. That's why they will producing that. Okay, and there's a podestamon also that will also do the same thing. So assimilatory roots are the one which will produce the, or which have the chlorophyll and which can do the photosynthesis. Okay, next one is a hygroscopic root. Okay, so leaf will be harsh but bitter. Jivan. Exactly. So hygroscopic root, like hygro means what? Can anybody tell me what is the meaning of hygro? Hygrometer, we normally use the term, right? Hygrometer and everything. Tinospora Amritballi, exactly. Actually, hygro means, anybody? YouTube. I'm just waiting. Anybody tell me hygrometer or hygroscope? Exactly. Hygro means moisture. Okay, moisture, or you can call it as like humidity. Okay, humidity. So humidity is a better term. Hygrometer is the thing which actually measure the humidity in a particular area. Okay, humidity in a room or anything. Okay, so these hygroscopic roots are normally present on the epiphytes. So what are epiphytes then? Epi means what? Epi means above, means phytes means plant. Epiphytes are plants which are grow on other plant. This looks similar to parasite, right? But remember, this is different from parasite. How it is different from parasite? These plants grow on the other plant, but do not take nutrition from the host. So we call it as a host. Host means who are the one who is hosting, right? So that means, like, if one of your friend is actually organized the party, then he is the host. All of us are like friends. Okay, I'm not saying I'm not using the word parasite, right? So we are going to the party. You may eat something or you may not eat something, right? Still you are going, went to his party and he is the host only, right? Exactly like that. These epiphytes are grow on the other plants, but they will never take the nutrition. Then why they are growing there? They are growing there only for the sake of area. Okay, only for the sake of area. Like why it evolved in this way? Because like it's a long way. In simple term, these are actually originated in the tropical forest. In tropical forest means lot of competition will be there, lot of species competition will be there, but other branches of the tree there will be like no competition, right? The bark will be there, moisture will be there. That's why they went from this soil to the bark of the tree. Okay, on the other tree. Okay, terrestrial, all are terrestrial only. Okay, no terrestrial assimilatory roots plant These are terrestrial only. Sorry, this Ctenospora is a terrestrial only. Trapa only aquatic. Okay, only Trapa is aquatic. Huh. So I will come back to here. Exactly. That's why they went to there. But the first thing, the first problem when they went to there is how they will get the nutrition. That means how they will get the this one, water, right? Water and minerals are very important, but how they will get it? Okay, minerals somewhat they can get it because bark is decaying, from where it will get the nutrition and everything, moisture and nutrition and minerals and everything. It can do the photosynthesis. It will be green in color. But water, how it will have to collect? Then they developed a kind of a root, we call it as the hygroscopic root, okay, that have a sponge-like cells, okay, sponge-like cells. We call that as a layer of velamen that actually help in absorption of the atmospheric moisture, okay. So atmospheric moisture. And just took a like cross-sectional view of the that particular kind of the root, okay. If you observe it properly, exactly. It's not a sucking root. Remember, epiphyte never have a sucking root. Epiphyte only have a hygroscopic root and other kinds of roots. Okay. If you observe this root structure, this is the exodermis. Okay, this is the exodermis. Here you can find a layer of cells, right? These are velamen, what we normally say. Okay, these are a modification of epidermis. What they will do, they will help in the absorption of moisture. Absorption of moisture, okay, absorption of the moisture. That's why it will get the water, then it will give nutrition from all the other things, and it will produce the flowers and everything. It will survive. Okay, so that's what happening in here. So examples are orchids. So if anyone don't know what an orchid means, orchids are one of the beautiful flowering monocotyledon plants. Try to search in Google, you will get like thousands of photos. Okay. So in Kannada, we call it as like Sitale Hu, but I'm not sure in what it's called in other languages. Okay. So these are the things. Hygroscopic means plants which have the velamen, which will absorb the atmospheric moisture and they will survive. Okay. So after discussing this, what are the function of the roots then? Okay. So major function of the roots are the fixation. That means primary function. Fixation means fixing to the substrate. Right, to the substrate, especially for the soil. And absorption in water and minerals. Okay, and that's a very, very important thing. This is very, very important function, right? And storage of the food in some, and conduction of water. That's what we call absorption of water and conduction of the water. And photosynthesis and respiration in some. Photosynthesis in some, respiration in all the things, right? These are the functions of the root. Okay, so now I'm taking like 1 minute of time. Do you guys have any doubt regarding the things we discussed now on? Okay, I left one thing. Just want to mention here, some part of the taproot. Okay, some plants of the taproot especially belongs to the leguminaceae. Okay, leguminaceae have a kind of root. We normally call it as root nodule. Will have a root nodule. Okay, what are this root nodule? We normally call it as nodulus also. Okay, root nodules will have bacteria, rhizobium. Probably everyone know this. It will help in the nitrogen fixation. Okay, we also call this kind of roots as the like nodulus roots. Okay, any doubts, guys? Any doubts? I'm just giving the time for you guys. So if you have any doubt, you can ask me. You still have the time. Okay. Yeah, colorless root. That you can find it a different kind of a root. You can also find it in the this one where you can find in the gymnosperm cycas kind of roots. We normally call it colorless root. They also contain the symbiotic association. Okay, you can only find it in some of the genera of this cycas only, not in the other things. Okay. Cross section. Oh, you want to say, this cross section, if you observe, what you can find here is the vascular bundles. Okay, these are the vascular bundles. That means where xylem and phloem is there. Okay, xylem and blue are phloem. It's a double this one. Okay, and these are parenchyma tissues, or we also say ground tissues. Okay, These are exodermis. Outside to this, epidermis should be there. In the epidermis, it actually formed the velamen. Okay, this is the complete outer layer. Okay. 1 second, we will go back to that, Nishchay. 1 second. Okay, we will complete this question, then we will go back to that. So question came, nematophores are found in the options are the vegetation which is found in marshy and saline lake, the vegetation which is found in acidic soil, option C xerophyte, option C epiphyte. Xerophyte, the people who don't know, the plant which grow in the less water area, okay, or where water scarcity is there. Okay, I'm launching the poll. I don't think this question is a tough one, right? It's one of the easy question. So you can answer in the YouTube live chat or in the Zoom polls. This question is asked in AIPMT 2000. Okay, so I told you, right? Like nematophore, related to nematophore questions are asked several times. Okay, you guys still have 30 seconds. Only 40% people answered. I'm just waiting from the YouTube also. Yeah. Okay, last 10 seconds, guys. Okay, Manish. We will do a revision. Same as plant, Jivan. Same as plant, no differentiation. We will see the respiration in detail in the plant physiology. I'm ending the poll and I'm sharing the result. 77% chosen option A, 9% B, 12% C, and 2% D. I'm stop sharing the result. And in YouTube also, everyone chosen option A only. Yeah, A only. Okay, kind of a direct question, right? The nematophores are present in halophytes. Halophytes are kind of a plants. Yeah, where they will grow in the a saline lake or in the saline area or in a marshy area. Okay, so option A is correct. Exactly. Xerophyte means arid area and epiphyte above the another plant. All plants which are present in desert areas are called xerophytes. In desert, you can only find the xerophyte plants, but in regular kind of area also you can find the xerophytic plants. Okay, but in desert is like mandatory, like xerophytic plants only will be there. If there is any other kinds of plant, it will die off. Okay, saline means saline means not humid. Saline means salt, having salt content. Okay. What are epiphytes? That we saw, right? Epiphytes means the plant which will grow on other plants, but will not take nutrition from the plant. Okay. I'm just going through the revision. The taproot, which is coming from the radical, adventitious, which is other than the radical. Okay. The which you go for morphological differentiation. The last part is the root cap, which will protect it. Next is the meristematic part, which is doing the cell division process. And next one is the elongation part, where actually cell is growing, okay, and getting bigger in size. And the last one is the maturation region, where actually maturity is happening. That means differentiation is happening from the single type of cell to the parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma, xylem, phloem, that kind of differentiation. Okay. So if you go for the modification of root, the first one is the fusiform, that means tapering at both ends and bulge in the middle. So like a radish. Second is a conical, that means conical shaped like a carrot, and napiform, that means bigger above and tapering below, that means turnip, and tuberous means without having a shape. These are taproot modifications. And if you go for some other kind of modification, there's a nematophores, which normally present in saline or salt-rich area or marshy area, which actually produce these negatively geotropic roots, which help in the respiration of the plants. Okay. If you go for the adventitious roots, first thing is the storage. That is the tuberous root. Tuberous roots are like a multiple branch of the roots, which will produce the or which will help in the storage food. Example, sweet potato, swollen kind of thing. Fasciculated means these roots will arise from the stem branch. Remember, tuberous is arised from the root only. Okay, fibrous root. But fasciculated roots arising from the last stem node, okay, still it's a root only, and they are fleshy in nature, dahlia and asparagus, okay. Here, next one is stilt root, another kind of root or adventitious root. Okay, stilt root are also coming from the this one only, last node only, but they are not helping in the storage. The difference between fasciculated and stilt is fasciculated helping in storage, but stilt is not helping in storage. They are helping in a support. Okay, so you can find it in maize, sugarcane. And prop root is the another kind of root, adventitious root, where coming from the stems and they will act like a pillar to support the plant. Okay, example is banyan. And third one is like sucking or hostorial root, which is present in a parasite, which go deep into the host plant vascular bundles, that means xylem and phloem, and they will extract the nutrition and water and minerals. So you can find it in the all the parasites like viscum and cuscuta. Okay, and assimilatory root, that means some of these roots will have the photosynthetic ability, that means they have the chlorophyll. So that may be terrestrial or that may be aquatic. Okay, depends. So examples are Tinospora, that's this one, okay, terrestrial one only, and Trapa, that will be a aquatic plant. Okay, so they will do the photosynthesis. These are exception to the regular roots. Okay, so next one is a hygroscopic root. Hygroscopic roots are the one which will be present in epiphyte. Epiphytes are the plant which grow on the above other plant, but they won't take a nutrition. If they take a nutrition, they will become parasite, right? So they won't take a nutrition, but what they will do, they will grow on the other plant and they produce a kind of root which have a modification, that means which have an extra layer called a velamen layer. This velamen is a spongy layer, okay, sponge layer, which actually help in absorption of the nutrition, okay, sorry, absorption of the moisture which is present in the air, That's why you can only find epiphytes in the moistened areas, not in other areas. You can only find it in the this one, Western Ghat region, not in these some other regions, okay? Because in other regions, air do not have any moisture, right? There it can't survive. So the functions, we repeated: fixation, absorption, storage, conduction, and photosynthesis, okay? So, hello means salty, exactly, Venkat. And sir, cactus is an example for xerophyte, exactly. A cactus is the best example for the xerophyte, okay? I will add a slide in the next class, differentiation about halophyte, sorry, mesophyte, xerophyte, and the hydrophyte. Okay, I will add a slide, no tension. So any questions, guys, regarding today's class? Any question regarding today's class, you can ask now. Okay, so in the meantime, I will also launch the teacher NPS. Who are in the Zoom can answer the NPS. If you have any doubt, you can also ask now also. Okay, who are in the YouTube also, guys, feel free to ask. And who are not in the Telegram group, please come to the Telegram group. Just put a message to me. My number already posted in the chat box. Okay, so I will add you. And for everyone, I already sent module of the 5th, 6th, and 7th chapter along with a solution in the respective Telegram and the WhatsApp group. Okay. Like for who are in the Zoom, you guys don't need the Telegram. Remember, only for the people who are in the YouTube, only Telegram. Okay, who are in the Zoom, you guys have the WhatsApp group. Okay, so I already shared it in the WhatsApp and Telegram, the modules. Just save it and start solving the question. Okay. In mountain plants, what regulate the excess water in root? Excess water, do you understand, Mohan? What regulate means like what you are asking, is it an anatomical structure or anything? The mountain plants normally you can find the herbs majorly, okay, except the conifers, because in the like high winter season, like everything will die off, right? It can't survive because of that reason. Cactus and date palms are examples of cactus and date palm. You can take an example for xerophyte. Okay, so we will see that in the next in the morphology only it will come, all those things. Thank you. Thank you. Amoeba can be affected by virus. Yes, it can be affected by virus. So not only amoeba, Bacteria are affected by virus called bacteriophage. Protista can be affected by the virus. Okay. Plants can be affected by virus. Fungi can be affected by virus. Animal can be affected by virus. The last extinct, even virus can be affected by the another virus. Okay, we call it as like super virus and all the things. Some virus will live within another virus. Okay, so like it's a higher kind of parasitism. Okay, so you can find it in that manner also. So viruses are like everywhere. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, guys. If you don't have any doubt, you can leave the class. And for YouTube guys, okay, then we will close the YouTube class. Okay, so we'll meet in the next class. That means the day after tomorrow. Okay, don't forget. Try to remember the time, everything. Okay, bye bye.